It's great that Stearns he's all about probabilities, and it's like he's the accuser who is depending on the probability that you are going to continue to act in your flesh. It's like that'll start
Nice.
the Satan, the accuser, the opponent. And he laid out all these probabilities, but what he didn't really account for was hope.
Yeah.
Hope, the desire of just that little sliver of, maybe we might, to theologize it, the image of God in him. It's actually going to connect with how he ought to be. But what does Stearns do? He really exposes. I mean, he exposes the fact that without truth, without confession and forgiveness, you will become a monster. Right? That's a dramatic way, but Ross becomes a monster, and it's interesting. He's in the comics. He's often excited to be, Hulk's equal, this kind of thing. Here, he's horrified by what's happening to him, and we should too. If you continue to live in lies, in deception, and not facing the sin of the past, you will become a monster. Without a holy and good transformation, you will be transformed into something worse. And so this reminds me of what Paul is saying. Like, you can imagine Ross saying these words. I don't know if I could do Harrison Ford impression, but Romans 7, right? Verses 18 and 19, and then I'll hop forward. For I know that nothing good dwells in me, that is in my flesh. For I have a desire to do what is right, but not the ability to carry it out. For I do not do the good I want, but the evil I do not want is what I keep on doing. Then moving forward, wretched man that I am, who will deliver me from this body of death? So the internal struggle of Ross, which I thought he was going to be like window dressing for this movie as a foil, but is the essence of the movie, reminded me of the C.S. Lewis quote from Mere Christianity. It says, every time you make a choice, you are turning the central part of you, the part of you that chooses, into something a little different than it was before. And taking your life as a whole, with all your innumerable choices, all your life long, you are slowly turning this central thing into a heavenly creature or a hellish creature, either into a creature that is in harmony with God and with other creatures and with itself, or else into one that is in a state of war and hatred with God, with its fellow creatures and with itself. To be the one kind of creature is heaven, that is, it is joy and peace and knowledge and power. To be the other means madness, horror, idiocy, rage, impotence, and eternal loneliness. Each of us at each moment is progressing to the one state or the other. In terms of the sanctifying process, you see Ross, at least of that other character, he was turning into Red Hulk his whole life, and Stearns just goes, fine, I'm going to let the world see what you really are. And wouldn't it be nice if there was somebody who wanted to give us a second chance, to give us hope when we've been slowly our whole life sinning and turning that thing inside of us into the Red Hulk? And so that's why with this movie, with all of its imperfections, I like this. How do we wrestle with a bad man who's trying to change? And Captain America is still a symbol of hope.
We hope you enjoyed this snack-sized taste of popcorn theology. Check out the full episode using the link in the description. Subscribe on YouTube for more content. Follow and interact on social media to share with others. And remember, you are not a mindless consumer.